Hey, what is going on, guys? Obnoxious Toast here, bringing you a Unholy Death Guide as requested by a subscriber. So, of course, I am here to deliver. So, I'm going to be going over the talents, glyphs, rotation, macros, and that's about it that I have on my character. And I'm not a pro or anything, but I have been playing this game for way longer than most people. So, yeah, I'm a pretty good source for any questions like that. So. Death Knight is not my main warrior but I still have a very big knowledge and grasp of the concept of a Death Knight. So here we go. Talents, IPVP mostly, and these are the talents I have. You can pause the video and look at these, but I have Plague Leech, Purgatory, Dust Advance, Runic Corruption, Death Pact, Remorseless Winter, and Breath of Sindragosa, and I'll be going over them, so don't worry. So I use Breath of Sindragosa because in PvP, these kind of go together. This will slow your enemy and then stun him on the 5th application, and as a melee you should always be on top of your target, so that's common sense right there, right? You're on top of him, he's getting slowed, and then you stun him and you burst him with Breath of Sindragosa. See, it did 29,000 damage there, and it actually got reduced because I hit that rat, so it does quite a bit of damage, especially if they're stunned, they're screwed because that was just one tick of Breath of Sindragosa. If I had 100 runic power, it would do a lot more, obviously. So yeah, Death Pact heals you for 50% of your maximum health, and then it absorbs 25% of maximum health. So it's a win-loss, but you've healed through 25% of your health pretty quick with Test Strike, to be honest. Next, I have Runic Corruption. Now, I use this because it is a passive, and it increases your rune generation by 100% for 3 seconds, so if that procs, it's very overpowered, and it can make a pretty big difference. Sorry, excuse me. Blood Tap is also viable, but the thing about it is you have to be active with it, and you have to know when to use it. I just prefer to use this because it's one less ability to worry about. Dust Advance makes you harder to crowd control and slow you down, so this is very helpful in arenas when someone's trying to run away or slow you. Purgatory, this makes you invincible for 3 seconds right as you're about to die, and if you heal through the damage needed to be healed, then you will live instead of dying. Plague Leech consumes your diseases and then activates 2 depleted death runes, or 2 runes as death runes. And then, this guy is asking me my eye level again. He asked me this like 5 days ago, and I don't know why he keeps asking me, but we'll go ahead and tell him. So 712. Now, I use Plague Leech because those 2 death runes are very important because it can mean the difference between a death strike that is going to save your life or a Soul Reaper that will kill your enemy. So yeah, that's my talents. And next we're going to go over my glyphs. So I have Glyph of Blood Boil, Shifting Presence, and Regenerative Magic. This is probably the most important one because if it expires after its full duration, the cooldown can be reduced up to 50%. So it's not going to be 50% always. It just depends on how much damage you took during the phase of of anti-magic shell. So that's very helpful in arenas because you want this up as often as possible. It's very helpful. And Shifting Presences retain 70% of your runic power when you switch. So if you need to be tanky or heal more and you switch, you'll still keep your runic power. And then when you decide like, oh, it's time to do damage again, you switch over to Unholy, and you still have some runic power left, which is a lot better than having none. I can tell you that much. So Blood Boil just increases the radius by 5 yards. I guess that helps in PvP. Sometimes you really need to reach that person who's kiting you around the pillar. And next, I have these minor glyphs. They're not mandatory at all, so just take these with a grain of salt. So Horn of Winter just makes your Horn of Winter look cool basically when you use it. And then this will turn my ghoul into a geese, making it look cool, or a geist, however. Resilient Grip. This will make your cooldown on Death Grip reset if the target's immune. So this is actually, a lot of people don't use this, and they're really skipping out on something helpful because if you're in an arena and you death grip a pally right when he bubbles, or you death grip a deterrence hunter, the cooldown's reset and you can just grab his partner and just totally crap on his partner while they are immune and can't do anything. So that's my reasoning behind those glyphs. Now I'll move on to the rotation, which is pretty pretty important part. So you always want to start with your diseases, right? You can start by manually applying them or using your outbreak, which is very helpful. So you can usually use that if you're just about to burst someone. So let me go to my macros because these go in with my rotation. Let me just change this name to something more friendly. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So usually I will use this macro because it summons my gargoyle and it uses my PvP trinket, the one that empowers me. So I use that. I put my diseases on them, and then I start using Festering Strike and Scourge Strike, and I just bounce between the two. And then you want to use Death Coil 5 times because then it will empower your ghoul, turning it into that monstrosity that you will see right now. There we go. Now that it's transformed, I will not be using runic power on Death Coils anymore. I will be saving it up for Breath of Sindragosa, which is coming up pretty soon. But as you can see, you just have so many. I will use Death Coil if a free Death Coil like that comes up because it's free. Of course, you should use it. So you're just beating on them. Let's say you use Remorseless Winter. You have your silences when needed. That's not part of the core rotation because it just depends. It's circumstantial. So then I'm at 100 runic power. They're stunned, and I use Breath of Sindragosa, and they get nuked, completely nuked. So that's the rotation. It's pretty simple. And yeah, it will do a lot of damage. And once they're below 45% health, Soul Reaper becomes an automatic priority over any other ability because it will nuke them really hard. Next and last, I just have like some. Well, I have this macro. This macro right here. I have this tanky macro. It activates Icebound Fortitude and Blood Presence. So right when I'm about to die, I usually use this, and then I Death Strike up. So next, I'm going to talk about really quick just stat priority. Now for me, it is Mastery Strength Mastery Multi Strike, because Mastery, of course, increases your shadow damage. That's all of your base damage basically. Multi Strike. This is very important because as you see right there, it healed me twice. So as a Death Knight, if you're getting healed that much with Death Strike, that's like 50,000. Use 4 Death Strikes, that's 200,000 HP. I mean, it's crazy healing. So it's very worth to get. And yeah, that should cover it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope I covered everything you wanted. If I didn't, make sure to leave a comment. If you did enjoy, please like, comment, and subscribe. Really helps me out. But until next time, guys, have fun kicking ass on your Death Knight. Peace.